Hey there, Boots Owen here. This is a Dyson CR01 washing machine. It's a Contrarotator washing machine, which means it had a drum inside a drum turning the opposite way to the other half of the drum. It was made around the turn of the last millennium, so 23 years old, maybe, something like that. It's it's like a washing machine on one level, and then it's got various differences that make it unique. But the reason that these things didn't catch on is because the drum in the back of the main drum that contra rotates used to get stuck, and it was a whole rigmarole to unstick it. But the reality was, once it got stuck, it was going to keep getting stuck. That's what happened to this one, and so Dyson came up with a feature where the engineer could come out and disable contra rotate through the computer, so the machine would just run as one regular washing machine effectively. They cost about £1,000 in their day, which was a lot of money. I've got it going again. The drum was seized, not the Contrarotator, but the whole thing was seized. So I've got it going again. I'm going to try it now with some laundry. Workshop rags in this case. They're in. It has two doors. It doesn't have the kind of rubber door seal inside like a normal washing machine. So instead it's more like a laundrette washing machine with a drum inside. Laundrette washing machines tend not to have this safety door, but Dyson has. It's extremely lightweight. Well, it's substantial plastic, but it's all plastic. Let's put a bit of soap in, just a little, because I don't know if it's going to work properly. It worked on a spin, so that should do okay, but let's plug it in. The plug is down here. Now the machine is live. Let's turn on the water. I don't see any leaks so far. It's positive. It has a hot and a cold fill, which was kind of its time. They tend not to have those now unless it's an e-back washing machine. Let's turn it on. I've got a display here that says Dyson Contrarotator. It's on spin 1400 only. And I know that that worked, that cycle. So let's turn it on to something short. And I have to figure this out a bit. So it's on rinse and spin. Can I turn it on to... I can turn that off. So now it's on to a 40 degree, 1100 stains. Dirt and stains, heavy stains. I want it to be as quick as possible. So I'm going to turn it down to... Oh, it won't do less than 30 for a cotton. I'll have to turn that down again, and I'll turn the spin up to 1400. It has a set of memories. I don't know what that's about. Minimum iron, pre-wash, extra rinse, rinse and spin, duvet, hand wash, delicates, wool, synthetics, cotton, mains on off. Okay, start. That was the door lock. Now the pump I can hear, and then when I was doing the last cycle, there was a little motor in the back trying to engage. There's a gearbox in the back that deals with that Contrarotator. It's taken on water on the pre-wash side, so I might as well show you what came out of the back of it. Oh, it's turning. That's good. I'm taking on water. Here's one pot, and here's another. This is all plastic waste, bits of sweet wrappers and whatnot, and here's 3 pieces of spider, so the whole thing had disintegrated in the back of it. The whole thing had disintegrated. Pretty spectacular, really. I don't know if you can see anything through those 2 doors. Let's take it on water. That's positive. You can see how this inner door, the purple ring, is kind of moving independently of the rest of the machine. It looks like it's doing it. Let's see if it took that soap in. Yep, soap's gone in. I think it's going to work. I would like to see what crud comes out, because I cleaned out a lot of it, but I didn't do anything wet with it to get the dust out, so there should be a load of dust and goo coming out, but equally my workshop rags are filthy. They haven't been washed in quite a while, so that will bring out a load of crud as well. Hopefully there's nothing big to get stuck in the coin basket. It has a different kind of coin basket down on the bottom here. It has a different thing altogether. It's like a little plastic plug that you lift off the front of. Dyson kind of made a feature of all of its working parts, which is how they do it, usually. With the hoovers and the... well, I don't know, the fans and stuff look a bit sleek and have nothing visible. It was quite an ordeal taking it apart and putting it back together. think I'm happy that it's working, it's turning. One issue is that I took out the rear paddles. It has three yellow paddles in the back. I took them off and they weren't properly attached. The back plastic on one of them at least had kind of popped out, so they may catch on laundry. And the other thing is that the gap between the front and the back drum might also catch on laundry, because there is a bit of a gap there. So I think I've heard that they were also famous for shredding things and getting things tangled and caught in them. This machine still has a layer of bits of plasticky nonsense in between the front and the back. I'll run it on this cycle, 30-degree cotton, and then what I might do is run a citric acid wash through it to try and clean out anything. Beyond that, I don't really know what I want to do with this machine. It's a novelty as washing machines go. I've owned one in the past and it wouldn't work. I can't remember what was wrong with it. The computer worked, the motors worked. I think the drum might have seized as well. No, it couldn't have, because in the end, I don't remember what was wrong with it. In the end I hotwired both motors together in series and used it to self-destruct, and I've made a video of that and it's extremely popular on YouTube. The Dyson that won't die, Dyson CR01 Smash Day or something like that it's called. But as a washing machine it's extremely robust. It has enormous bearings. There's very small bearings, or kind of regular washing machine size bearings, for the back half of the drum, but for the main one they're enormous, and I could see them never failing, to be honest. They're so big. They're as big as an industrial machine's bearings. And the bracket, the spider on between the main drum and those bearings is huge, but it needs to be, because the drum is double thickness throughout. It's basically two washing machine drums, one inside the other at the back, but just a double skin on the front half. It's enormously overbuilt. I don't know how else you could do it for this Contrarotate feature, but, well, Dyson did it and it didn't work ultimately, which is a shame. I'll leave it to go, because otherwise this will be a 2-hour-long special, and I don't believe there's enough memory on the camera for that. When it does its first rinse, we'll take a look at the water that comes out of it, I think, and see how that looks. It's pretty minging, I think. Yeah, let's leave it to go. It's just going to do this for a while, I guess. One of the, I don't know, disappointing features about it is that up on the screen here it says main wash, but it doesn't give you a countdown timer. That is what it is. I can't be disappointed about it. It just doesn't have one, but you'd think it might, given that it was so complicated. My Bosch WFP 3300 has that, and that's pretty much all it has is a display. So I don't know why Dyson opted not to have that, because it's the kind of thing that's quite useful. Nevertheless, let's leave it to do its thing and come back in due course. I can hear the pump running, but I don't see any action. Pump's down there. It's bubbling, but it's probably oh no! It looks like we're getting something filthy. God, that's pretty grim. So that'll be a product of what's in the machine and the laundry that's in the machine. It isn't really pumping with any great gusto, but it is pumping, so it should get there. It is emptying, but I'll show you what's in it now. So if you have a look at that, it's like sandy stuff and bits of, I don't know, all sorts of rubbish. It is pumping out. Oh, interesting. Okay, so interesting and not great, really. So that's a bit interesting and disappointing. Fault F13 and a phone number. Now 0870 as a phone number has long turned into 0330, I think. That's an old paid for number, which just shows you, it just goes to show the disappointing nature of how Dyson ran their business. I guess I need to reset that, and turning it off and on again is often the best way to do it. It has pumped out, but it's probably just pumping too slowly, and it can tell. I don't know, it's difficult to say what F13 is. I don't know what the error codes are. I'll try turning it on again. Dyson Contrarotator, cotton, blah 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 blah. So put on to rinse and spin. Rinse and spin, 1400, start. That buzz noise is a bit weird. I should have probably checked the filter before doing any more, just in case there's something big getting stuck in it. But it is pumping out, so now it's taking on more water. It's turning again. The drain down here, that drain is full of water, and it's, you know, it was pumping out slightly whenever it was draining. F13, I wonder what that is. It's probably there telling me the Contrarotate doesn't work. Oh dear. Okay, well it says rinse 1 of 2 up on the screen, so it's doing what it's meant to do. So I'm going to leave it to do its rinse 1 of 2 and come back, and we'll see if we get another error. So I've just noticed, and perhaps you can see it now that I've zoomed in, there's a lot more water in it for the rinse than there was in the wash. And what I didn't remark on, because it was nothing to see, there haven't been any leaks, which is positive from my point of view, because leaks are, well, obviously bad as washing machines go. So the front seal all around where the front of the tub joins the rest of the tub, that's gone back successfully. So I'm quite pleased with that. We don't want leaks, obviously. Great. There's a lot of water in there, really. So this machine is doing the drain off this time. It seems to be okay. It's still on rinse 1 of 2, but it's drained out, well, by the looks of things, most of the water, and now it looks like it's going to hopefully do a spin. What's different this time is it's been agitating as it's been draining or pumping out the water, so it looks like it might do something useful. I'm hoping. So after that rinse, here's the sandy snots that were in the bottom. It's like a mix, it's aluminium sands or salts of aluminium or something. It's out now and it seems to be working. I'm hoping it's going to do a little spin or something for us. I'm hoping it's going to spin. What do you think? Looks like it's gonna spin. Sounds like it's gonna spin. It's still on rinse 1 of 2. I wonder if it's trying to distribute the load or something, because it's taken forever to get to a spin. It sounds like it has a pump or something on that isn't pumping. It's still on rinse 1 of 2, but it hasn't done a spin. And I wonder if the pump's blocked again. It sounds like it might be rattling and not turning, because it hasn't pumped out in a while. But there is water in the pump, although now it seems like it's spinning again, so I'm not entirely sure. I can't quite keep up with this machine. Is it gonna spin? I don't know if on rinse 1 it'll do a huge spin, but on rinse 2 it might. There could be an issue with the gearbox and how I've put it back together, that it won't spin fast enough. I say that, now it seems to be going pretty fast. Oh, looks like we're getting there. So I didn't see any water coming out of it when it was spinning, which is a bit peculiar. So I do wonder if the pump has gotten blocked. But let's see if it takes on water for rinse 2, if it's going to. It's still on rinse 1 of 2. So we'll see if rinse 2 happens and if it takes on any water for that. No, it's pumping again. Or is that coming in? No, it's pumping out. So I don't know what the other noises were. It's done a big slug of water out there. Still on rinse 1 of 2. It's an extremely slow machine, I've noticed. It is extremely slow. It's done a spin on rinse 1. It should really go on to rinse 2. Or maybe it's doing another spin on rinse 1. Oh, good luck. It seems to be doing it anyway. So it's on the second spin in rinse 1. And hopefully this will move it on. Whether it's pumping or not is anyone's guess. That sounds faster. It seemed to get somewhere and then quit all of a sudden. Didn't stay at the high speed very long. Final rinse. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I'll leave it to do that and come back in the last bit. It's got a pretty mental load balance going on at the moment. It's all over the place. Looking good. So it looks like we're on to the final spin of the final spin, I'm hoping. Although it might do another spin after this, depending on what the machine is at. It seems to have balanced this load a bit better, and it's been draining out the whole time. It doesn't leave the pump on the whole time when it's spinning, which I find a bit peculiar. It seems to spin a bit, pump a bit, spin a bit, pump a bit. Almost like there's a float switch down there somewhere, but I don't know if there is or not. Doesn't sound like it's on its full high spin yet. Oh, it's getting up. It's getting up a bit faster now. Wow, you can really see on the inner door there is a lot of water rinsing down from somewhere. I hope it goes to the bottom. It's spinning out, but it looks like it's washing down the door, which doesn't really make sense. It should be draining down the outside of the tub. So it's still on final spin. Is it going to beep and click and whatnot? Or is it... Well, it hasn't... Yeah, it hasn't... It's done that spin, but it hasn't pumped any of that water out. So maybe the reason it was washing down is... Although it does sound like the pump is on and not pumping. Quite bizarre. So I suspect there's a little layer of water at the bottom that's just splashing around now. The pump down there, it's still got the same level of water in it. There could be a blockage between the drum and the pump. Like, there was a lot of dust in it, but equally if it's pumping out some of the time and it has pumped out all that water, it doesn't quite make sense. But I can get in and check the pump. These things have a coin trap rather than a pump at the front, which might make it more difficult. It looks like it's on a final agitate, but I wonder if it's going to do another spin. It doesn't look like it's finished anyways. Oh, fast forward to the end, hopefully. So very strangely there, this is just 2 seconds later, it has started pumping again as it's spinning up again. So I don't really understand. I thought the pump might be blocked, but it's definitely pumping out water. It's pumped out about 2 litres there just now. But the pump window remains full at the end, you know, it pumps a bit out and then fills up again. Ooh, we've got a vibration going. The noise is coming, there's bits of metal up on the top. The bits of spider, I'd left them on the top. They were rattling. Maybe this is the end. Hopefully this is the end. Stop pumping. Bit of an agitate. Is it gonna beep? Beep. Come on. I've had enough of you today, Mr. Dyson. We've been out here for hours having reassembly and test washes. That's it. Program finished. Uneven load could not spin. That's a bit weird. That's what it's saying up on top there. Uneven. Program finished. Uneven load could not spin. Well, I thought it was spinning, but maybe it couldn't achieve 1400. Right, we heard the door. I think, yeah. It doesn't feel too bad, actually. There's a little puddle of water here, which I'd wonder about, because surely that should drain down somehow. Take it out and look at it, it's black again. So it got my rags pretty clean in that first wash aborted, and then this spin from this video. Okay, CR01, it seems to be working at some level. It previously had an error 13. I might make a video next about cleaning out that drain. Questions or comments, leave them below. If you haven't subscribed already, please do, and a like would be appreciated too if this video is your kind of thing. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Is that a wave? See you later.